Good evening, my friends. Well, it's evening for me. It's going to be morning for you when you see this. I'm going to be gone this weekend, so I'm trying to record something quick just so there's something for Sunday. I know Sunday is usually the weekly sip, which is my weekly streaming show every Sunday morning, but this week I can't do it. I'm hoping that I can get this recorded and then it can be edited and put out in time for at least some kind of content to come out on Sunday, because I know that it's been a little bit sparse recently. But nonetheless, I'm going to be gone this weekend, so no weekly sip. Instead, you get this video that I am basically recording last minute before I leave for the weekend. In fact, I might not even be back in time for the Warhammer tabletop campaign happening over on Archer's channel. Hopefully I am, but hey, don't tell him, okay? But because I am a little bit time-strapped, I want to go over something that's kind of funny and goofy, and I think we can have a good laugh at. This was put up on the website of the University of Virginia. Live and Leftist. Twitch, political live streaming, and Hasan Piker. So what's happening here is somebody's, I think, master's thesis is literally an analysis of the online left and how it relates to Twitch. This has to be the most parasocial fucking thing I've seen in a while. I ain't making this up. You can go and find this. And here it is. Live and Leftist. Department of Media Studies, University of Virginia, May 2022. You know, hey, good for him. I never finished my thesis, so. Acknowledgements. My parents, advisor, all the normal stuff that you see in a thesis. My classmates who have hopefully ignored me speaking at length about weird shit. Oh my god. Imagine, like, you're in class and you're just trying to get through school, get through your degree so you can get on with your life. And this guy is just, like, ranting beside you in the lecture hall about Hasan's latest antics. My god, university must be more insufferable than it was when I was there. To Hasan and chat for inspiring this paper. Has L. I hope he sees this, dude. Thanks to anyone else who reads this. Hope you get something out of it. I'm gonna get a lot out of it, but I don't know about anybody else. Leftist political live streaming has become an increasingly visible subset of Twitch.tv content and internet live streaming content generally, with Hasan Abi Piker the most prominent among content creators in this new genre. This thesis aims to understand how leftist political live streaming fits into a historical lineage of partisan political broadcasting, from talk radio to present day, structures labor and generates income, and how its programming engages its audience through its use of technological affordances, collective effect, and an integrated materialist analysis. In the first chapter, I traced the lineage of Twitch's political streams. I synthesized previous literature beginning with right-wing talk radio stars like Rush Limbaugh, on through television, political media, liberal infotainment, online gaming, and online radicalism. With this context, I situate Piker and other leftist political live streamers in historical context, outlining the cultural and technical affordances they draw from legacy media. In the second chapter, I take a political economic approach to political live streaming. Drawing on the statements of streamers, public-facing company policy, and trade blogs, I first break down the way that both streamer and audience labor are configured on the platform. Building from that, I analyze how Twitch operates as a payment processor, handling and incentivizing transactions between audiences and content creators. And finally, I discuss how Twitch is able to exert political power over its users by gatekeeping their income, producing a chilling effect which affects political streamers' coverage. In the third chapter, I describe the experience of a Twitch streamer. Combining autoethnography, the walkthrough method, and computational text analysis, I describe the programming of the stream's content itself in its phenomenological and effective dimensions. I use this description to show how political discourse is shaped and received by sides of the stream's communicative circuit. If you ever needed a fucking reason to think that academia has become entirely superfluous, at least insofar as the arts is concerned, here you go. Here it is. Alright. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, there's so much garbage here. Maybe we shouldn't go through all 61 pages of it, but that's okay. I have a few choice snippets we can talk about. What's interesting to me is that this thesis drops in the context of Hasan recently doing a pretty high-profile internet about his life and his career, and how he got a job at TYT because of his uncle, HYUK, and how he ended up, going on his own and becoming a streamer. And Hasan gives his story. But Hasan leaves out what actually made it all work, and that was Destiny. Years ago, Hasan was a Destiny orbiter. Destiny platformed Hasan, which is what basically gave him the boost in audience to get him going at the start. Hasan used to pal around with Destiny's friends and Destiny's community. And now that Hasan's made it, he basically abandoned Destiny and now he kind of hates Destiny. Vaush did the same thing. Other streamers have apparently done the same thing as well. The Destiny bump seems to be a real thing in the online streaming space, at least for politics. And the number of people who have turned around after they've basically got bigger than Destiny, and then backstabbed him, that list also seems to be growing. And in that interview that Hasan gave to the mainstream media, he completely leaves out Destiny's influence. In fact, he says that he was the first person to merge politics and gaming in streams when it was, in fact, Destiny. The entire thing is basically this weird rewriting of history. And that's the thing about the process of legitimization. As soon as one organization, whether that be a school or a government or a media organization or whatever, says something that is false is true, then other legitimate organizations can point at that citation and say, look, it's obviously the case, right? And so that lie can propagate and become legitimized, which is basically what happens in this thesis. For example, Destiny is only mentioned twice in this thesis, once in passing, and the second time in the conclusion, where it reads, while Piker may have frequently used his bullhorn thus far to advocate for anti-imperialism, anti-capitalism, and marginalized voices, others are already pivoting to other targets. Vaush, who has shown up throughout this thesis, has regularly used his position to demonize decolonial advocates on his livestream. And the self-proclaimed neoliberal streamer Destiny has made it a goal to harass anyone to his left. These sort of reactionary tendencies are supported through the constant push for engagement, and the drama that ensues is itself a lucrative market. So, this seems to be an incorrect statement, as far as I can tell, because I do watch some Destiny. I do check in on Vaush every once in a while. I don't really watch Hasan Piker, but basically, I like to keep my thumb on the pulse of a lot of these people, even though I'm not in their communities. And from what I can tell, I don't think Destiny's made it a goal to harass anyone to his left. I think people on the left are taking it that way, mainly because Destiny is very good at de-radicalizing people from far-left positions. And in fact, this thesis does outright ignore that Destiny was the first person to come in and mix politics and gaming on Twitch, and then also start doing debates from the left, and then also start bumping up other streamers and helping platform them and helping them become streamers in their own right, like Vaush and Hasan. This thesis ignores all of that. While the cause for leftist Twitch's rise in popularity can only be speculated on, no, we know what it is, you're just not saying it. The growth of political audiences on the platform has continued along with the growth of the platform beyond esports, and the growth of the popularity of live streaming more broadly. As with the coincidence of Rush Limbaugh's ascendance to talk radio stardom, in which the wider American political context and its formal novelty align perfectly for popular success, Twitch's lefties, and Hasan Piker especially, seem to have stumbled into success more than initially seeking it out. This is actually describing Destiny, and then these other people were bumped by him. That's the actual truth here. Oh hey, look, at the bottom here, at least this paper still points out that YouTube doesn't actually have an alt-right pipeline the way that Xanderhall thought it did. You know that pipeline video of mine that I made? That got Xanderhall's panties in a bunch. He did a reaction to it, and then I went on Adam and Sitch on their weekly Sunday show to basically react to the reaction, and Xanderhall was supposed to pop in, but he never did. That was some ridiculous drama that happened surrounding me too. It was fucking stupid. What's really interesting, though, are some of the citations used in this thesis. And no, I don't mean Karl Marx's 1978 work, A Contribution to the Critique of Political Economy. You might have gotten the century wrong on that one, dude. I'm talking more about how this thesis just seems to be a description of Twitch drama. Like check this out. Several other streamers were then banned for discussing the controversy. This is the cracker thing, where Twitch banned use of the word cracker as a slur, including the white libertarian socialist Vaush, who had said the N-word on stream previously. Piker had attributed the event's origin to a brigade of white right-wing naysayers who whipped themselves into a frenzy. And also, fellow streamer Vaush, for example, regularly takes neoliberal stances, which uphold colonialist, global capitalist, and/or reactionary paradigms, and he's able to persuade his audience by exerting his power as the arbiter of the stream. A lot of these comments, specifically about Vaush, but also many other streamers in this thesis, rely on this quotation, Samson 2022. And what he's referring to is this YouTube video, Noah Samson 2022, solving the debate bro problem. And here is that video by Noah Samson. This video is intended to document the many problems that debate streamers are creating for the online left and the built-in white supremacy which allows this to happen.
Noah Samson's a fucking idiot.
Whoa. Jesus.
Howard Noah Samson, who said that he liked me in a video and then later posted like a minute-long retraction in the following video.
I have no problem with black creators getting really big. However, FD signifier is a dumb fuck.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Hasan Piker.
Okay. So this video is kind of a meme video on the left right now. And something that Kraut actually predicted years ago would be that there would be a complete and total collapse of LeftyTube, of the online leftist space, after Trump left office. And that has happened. You've got the more video essayist LeftyTubers, like ContraPoints, like H-Bomber Guy, like Lindsay Ellis. And these people, you know, as bad as they can be sometimes, they absolutely hate the lefty Twitch politics crowd, the breadtubers. And the reason seems to be, as far as I can tell, is because the Twitch politics crowd, they're a bunch of Dunning-Kruger dumbfucks who rely on charisma in debates to make arguments rather than any kind of actual foundation in fact. Meanwhile, the video essayists, even though they are, you know, often wrong as well, they can at least pull out a book and read it and give you a theory and like outline something. They're not simply shooting from the hip all the time. And right now, in the far left internet space, there is a huge civil war happening between React Bro streamers and the video essayists. And then there's also the ongoing civil war, which I talked about in previous videos, I think a year or two ago at this point, between the socialists and the progressives, where the progressives view socialists as being racist and class reductionist for not taking into account other intersectional issues. The socialists view the progressives and the intersectionals as basically just being radlibs who aren't really part of the left, and that these localist issues regarding race or sex or culture are distracting from the socialist revolution. And so there's this tension on the left between these two groups that they just don't fit together, and they're constantly bashing against each other, and they're basically ripping the left apart at this point. The whole Vaush ContraPoints drama recently, or the Vaush Cat Black drama recently, and now the Noah Samson video, these are all just individual data points along this larger trend of the left basically fracturing. And on some level, you know, I don't care. I'm not part of the left. Whatever. It is kind of funny to watch, but that's the extent of my attachment to it. But some people are taking this very, very, very seriously, because the same thing happened to the right on YouTube back in like 2017, 2018, where internet blood sports destroyed the whole fucking thing. And now it's happening to the left. And I guess this fucking guy thought it was so goddamn important that he had to write his master's thesis on it. I'm here mostly just to laugh at it because it is kind of ridiculous, but let's just check out the conclusion real quick here. Despite its challenges, live streaming uniquely benefits the socialist position and the leftist materialist analysis. It requires its practitioners to navigate liveness in all its sincerity and intimacy. Jesus, how can you say so much without saying anything at all? Necessarily, the arrangement and dominant culture of live streaming holds streamers accountable to their audiences on some level, with direct methods of recourse or critique available when suspicion arises via the chat. This kind of pushback is common in political live streams, with users asking questions in both good and bad faith and getting responded to appropriately. Here's how I know that you're a Hasan simp, because this is not what he uses his chat for. If you criticize him, he just bans you. Right-wing and more esoteric ideologies are not equipped for liveness, because they simply cannot respond to the collective bullshit calling of a live, co-constitutive audience. Capitalism and rightism cannot explain away the contradictions of their own relations sufficiently, because the contradictions of material life, there's that Marx 1978 again, under capitalism say otherwise. This, to me, explains why right-wing content flourished on YouTube and in other static edited forms, but has yet to really make its way to live streaming beyond the fringes. It cannot explain itself without debate speak and editing. Meanwhile, live streaming rewards the sincere, those who can take critique and either adapt or view or explain in sufficient terms it's failing. I think it's actually much more simple than that. I think it's because these platforms ban right-wing people. Head over to Cozy TV, you see the 5,000 viewers that Nick Fuentes has? I don't like Nick Fuentes, but he's clearly on the far right, and he clearly has a big audience, and he streams all the fucking time. This person is literally seeing that all of the right-wing debate bros, who can actually debate, because this fucking analysis that right-wing and more esoteric ideologies are not equipped for liveness, that's just like immense stupidity, because all of the actual right-wing debaters, they've been banned. And every time a socialist actually has to debate a liberal who is knowledgeable about socialism on socialism, the socialist constantly fucking loses, because socialism itself is this incoherent mess of an ideology that can't ever actually happen. It can't ever actually be held together. Like, I've watched Destiny debate people, I've watched Sargon debate people, I've watched Econoboy debate people, like debate socialist. I mean, I've watched like a bunch of people who are liberals and who are conservatives debate socialists. And as long as the liberal or conservative is knowledgeable about socialism, the socialist loses every time because socialism is a losing ideology. This thesis unironically reads like a super Hasan simp who has never actually noticed that when you ban non-leftists, they don't simply disappear from the internet. They go to other platforms and their audience continues to grow there. Anyway, it's time for me to take off. Hopefully this gets edited and put up on Sunday as I intend, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one. I love you.